The other day, we had like 4 shows in a row, it was the 4th day, and I felt like I was in a bee's nest. I was just like, everyone is pissing me off. So I went and sat on the sofa, put some Debussy in. I was like, okay, I feel better now.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes!
In 2016 en 2018 stonden ze er al. En ook dit jaar zijn ze terug om het dak er weer af te blazen. Nothing But Thieves staat op Pinkpop 2022. Maar laten we eerst even teruggaan, want eerder dit jaar speelden ze een uitverkochte show in de Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam. Terwijl de rijen zich buiten vormen, kreeg ik de exclusieve kans om de band te spreken over het tourleven, de aankomende festivalzomer en nog veel meer. Hi guys, welcome to Amsterdam. How are you feeling?
We're feeling good, I believe.
Yeah, very happy to be back.
Excited.
Yeah. And how is that feeling of, after pandemic things, everything that happened in the world, and now being back on the road on all those different cities again?
Yeah, I mean, at first, it still feels incredible. At first, it was a bit of a shock because we haven't been out of our houses for, years like the rest of the world. So, it was a bit of a culture shock going to Paris. I think was the first date, and just being able to, hear other languages and have different drinks, different food, and do all the stuff that we used to do quite regularly. It all felt quite new. So it's been incredible. It's been the best thing, and it's made us realise how much we were missing it, I think.
Yeah. Is it easy to get back on the touring routine, like everything that goes with the touring?
Yeah, I think the first week you get your feet and you're learning to how to perform in front of a crowd again, in front of all these people. Otherwise, you've just been sitting in your pants for 2 years, so it's on your own. So it's nice to, you get into the flow, and I think we're getting better each day, really, aren't we? Again, yeah. I think so.
And what was for you guys as a band like the first moment of performing for, audience as it used to be, like real human people back again, and how did that felt?
Yes, I think we did our UK tour at the end of last year, and that was when things in the UK were just starting opening up. I think we timed our tour really well. I think things were opening up, and we were some of people's first gig back, which has been really cool, and that's happened this time as well. Being people's first show has been a really cool experience. It's made our job really easy because everyone just was really up for music, so we could be terrible and they'd still enjoy it. So.
Okay, let's go. Okay. This summer you'll be playing Pinkpop. It will be your 3rd time playing the festival after playing in 2016 and 2018. You guys have any good memories of those previous years at the festival?
Yeah, it's some of the best crowds that we've played to have been at Pinkpop, and we've also discovered some great music, and we're fortunate enough to see De Staat there. And who have become not only one of our mutual favourite bands, but very close friends of ours now.
And then I started thinking about...
I love your band.
He does. We play your music so much. We've become a bit obsessed. We actually saw them in the UK at the Garage, a venue that's not far from our homes, a few months ago. So it's a great festival for not only discovering new music and new bands, but for us, the Dutch crowd has always been so welcoming. We've been coming to Amsterdam and the rest of the Netherlands for nearly 10 years now. Yeah. So it feels more like home than home in some respects. It's mad.
And one question I want to ask about De Staat, what do you like about the band or the sound?
Well, I think they're really, really innovative for a rock band. I think it's quite hard to make rock music sound kind of modern or take a new spin on it. They're pulling in influences from things like Prince and all these other sort of synth-based artists from the 80s and 90s, and that's inspiring for us. We like to do a similar thing, and we have a different take on it, but it's so original. I think the songwriting's really, really cool and creative. You don't know what they're going to do next. I love that when you listen to a song, you don't know what you're going to get. And they have a load of influences from really heavy, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like dance, like EDM, like music from it was a bit before kind of our era, I think. But, influences that we would never have come across that they're pulling into their rock music, which is, again, really inspirational and cool to see. So, and it's great that now we've got this relationship with them, we can kind of pick their brains and I'll message them and be like, what's this sound? How did you get this? What was inspiring that? And, we have a bit of back and forth on that, which is really cool.
Yeah, and they also do choreography in their shows. Is that something you guys admire?
Yeah.
Is that an ambition for Nothing But Thieves?
We just couldn't pull that off.
No.
It works so well. Their music has a tongue-in-cheek element to the seriousness.
Yeah.
It works.
We'll obviously go around Amsterdam yesterday, and on the way into the venue today, and we saw like a load of posters, of start posters, and we were saying he's like an evil genius. That guy, it's brilliant.
He looks kind of terrifying. Yeah, he looks terrifying, and he's so intense. And when you watch him perform, he turns into this kind of character, and you're like, I wouldn't want to mess with you.
Yeah. They also now have these posters with "Who's Afraid of the Staat," and they're all looking like
I mean,
serious.
all of us are terrified.
Well, let's talk about Rock and Roll on Tour, because you've been doing these little tour diary videos on Instagram. I love that because I saw that one of your pre-show rituals is playing Mario Kart. Who out of the band is the best player?
It's hands down our drummer, James Price. I think he's spent more time playing that game than he has been playing gigs. He's incredible. And I think he's the only one in the band who doesn't have a driving license.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's amazing. Joe and I are just like, we'll try every time that we can to try and beat him, but he's just too good, isn't he?
He's undefeated this tour, isn't he? No, yeah, it's stupid. I mean, why do we try?
He's untouchable. So, yeah, that's one thing we do before show. We also warm up, as you heard earlier. We'll have a couple of drinks, listen to some music, maybe some dish stat as well. But it's quite tame. I think we've been taking this tour very seriously because for us, you know, we wanted to make sure that, because we haven't done it for years, that we're not taking any risks. We want to be switched on, make sure that we're ready to go as soon as we walk on the stage. So yeah, it's been nice to do that and make sure that we're sort of match fit for every gig we play.
And I have some fan questions that were sent to the Instagram of NPO 3FM. Casper Schreiber, a really Dutch name, asks, would you rather play a smaller, more exclusive show or a show in a big venue?
Yeah, we do love both. I know that's just the obvious answer, but we do. I mean, the reason we put those shows in was because coming back to the Netherlands after all this time and only doing one big arena just didn't really feel right. We wanted to do more. We've missed playing, and having that change of pace from having like a smaller club show to a big arena makes our life more interesting, and you just get a different feeling from both shows. So
yeah.
We were playing 2 shows in Prague, and the backstage was just one big backstage room, which was like a dungeon. And we just did go a bit stir crazy. I mean, Sweeney, our tour manager, what was he saying?
I started writing them down. Wait, let's make sure they're PC.
Well, no, the main one that we took away from that was we're basically trying to design a bar in a flight case, like a bar that you can take everywhere with you. And we wanted to have like, you know, cocktail stuff, like optics, maybe like a beer tap. We want lights, we want all this stuff. It's stupid. That's how bored we get on tour. But Sweeney came up with a name for it, because we're massive fans of Iron Maiden, kind of, and he was saying the bar should be called 668, the neighbour of the beast, which is a really stupid name for bar, but we like it. Yeah. So we're thinking we'll get that done. We can wheel it in to Pink Pop. We can have drinks. You're more than welcome to join. And
looking forward.
The party is always going to be moving.
Yeah.
With us.
A real tacky trash bar.
Yeah, it's going to be like a dive bar.
That's what I love. Yeah, that's totally my style. Really looking forward to that one. Stella Link 5 asks, do you have any fun plans after or maybe before the show in Amsterdam?
Keeping Price from the streets, probably.
Yeah, Price loves the Dutch delicacies, so we need to make sure that he doesn't enjoy them too much. We love this city. It's one of the sort of places where you'll be going for dinner somewhere and it'll be a 20-minute walk or 5-minute car, and you'd just rather walk because it's one of the coolest cities to walk. Walk all along the canals, and you'll find like a cool bar on the way and stuff like that. Tomorrow we'll probably be, as we call it, in the bin. We're going to celebrate a lot tonight. It's the biggest show we've ever done, so it'd be rude not to have a few drinks. So I think any of our plans will be after midday. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those places. We have been here so many times. It's a second home to us. So we have our own sort of individual spots. I don't want to give them away because they're our spots.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, but we have, we love it. We love it here. I've been here about 25, 50 times.
Yeah, nice. Loose on Screen asks, do you remember your performance in Paradiso in March 2016 at 1 a.m. after you supported Muse? Any memories from that show or supporting Muse?
I remember doing it.
Yeah.
Don't remember actually being there because, 1, pure tiredness, and 2, the only way you could really get through that is by drinking fairly heavily.
What was this situation like?
Well, we were playing with Muse in Brussels, and it was just as you were getting better because we had to pull some of those support shows because Connor was getting ill. and his throat was going, so he couldn't sing, which was devastating for us. But we got to play the last day in Brussels. But what that meant was playing the gig at like 7, 8 p.m, packing down all our stuff, throwing it into the van, driving up to the Netherlands, setting up again and playing that gig. And we were just like, we're going to need a lot of beer to get through this. And poor you must have been so knackered. You must have been...
I remember that gig being amazing. I remember it being crazy. I remember there being like rubber rings and big beach balls and people surfing. Yeah, it was awesome.
So yeah, a good one, but a bit blurry, I think.
Yeah, and the day after was okay as well, or?
Again,
yeah,
one big blur. But the gig was good, I remember, because, you know, sometimes when you play a support show, as amazing it is with Muse, you're playing arenas all the time. You're not playing to, like, people who know your music so much, so you're not really getting people singing along and stuff like that. But at the Paradiso, people were way more familiar. So it went from, like, being in a huge room to people who didn't know you to a smaller room where everyone was, like, you know, singing your songs and dancing. So it was definitely a good vibe.
Yeah, in just the same night. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was weird, and we won't be doing 2 in a night again.
Never again.
Right.
Nadine Den Heijer asked, before you drift away, you use an orchestra. How does classical music influence you as a band?
It's a really good question. I mean, Connor and myself have been playing classical music our whole lives. I mean, Connor, not to speak for you, but plays trumpet and is amazing at it. And we actually met at A-level music, which is like the equivalent to like college here, where you study at like 16 to 18. And we were studying classical music, and we were having to compose like choral music and string quartets and stuff like that. And at the time, you don't really think it's going to play much of a part, but it kind of rolls into your consciousness later on.
I could drown myself in someone like you. I could.
And when you're getting a bit more, I don't want to say experimental, like it's weird, but like just trying to pull in other influences, and it's definitely been helpful. I think there were rules and things that you learn and things that were typical of those genres, and how you can kind of, even basic things like what's the range of a violin that can only play between this note and that note. So when you're writing those parts, you are aware of it, so you're not writing something that physically can't be played, you know. So yeah, I would say it's hard to say it's had a direct influence, but I'd say it's trickled in, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think like with our songwriting, obviously songwriting is a whole other skill and whole other thing, but the general like chordal knowledge we have and the knowledge for like how melody works definitely plays in a part when you've studied it for a long time, and then it's also the opposite where you unlearn it. No, like where you like unlearn all those sort of things. Like I did classical singing for like 7 years, and I'm so glad it's taught me what I know in terms of my body, but I'd unlearnt it in a sense to go as far from it as possible to do rock or whatever we do, you know?
Yeah, but I'm glad you two know that, because I'm barely hanging on playing guitar on stage at the moment. So.
But are you guys like also playing classical tunes in the touring van, or you know? I
always did the other day
because
literally.
I am not even 30 years old. But what I love most is just having my fresh coffee in the morning and listening to classical music.
It's so funny.
Sometimes people make fun of me, but it's so.
The other day, where we had like 4 shows in a row, it was the 4th day, and I felt like I was in a bee's nest. I was just like, everyone is pissing me off. So I went and sat on the sofa, put some Debussy in. I was like, okay, I feel better now.
Is that what you were doing?
Yes!
I was like, what's wrong with him?
I just needed a little break. It was lovely, and I felt better.
Oh.